Hello class, hello Kingdom citizens, how you doing today? Denzel here. If you're here for the first time, I encourage you to backtrack, all right? If you're watching this video, if you just tuned into my channel, you just came across all this information, I encourage you to go back to the very beginning of this Kingdom series that we're on, watching the very first video. It's called How to Create Activity Income, all right? And I'm gonna have a playlist. I'm gonna call it All About the Kingdom, and we're just gonna add to it periodically as we go through this Kingdom series. And today we're going to be going over kingdom giving, okay? You know, we went over a lot on how to create income, how to create the passive income, how to protect our kingdom, multiple flows of income, how to use tools, applying those tools, all right? We're really breaking things down piece by piece. One important vital portion to your whole kingdom's success and legacy is all about giving, all right? And I want to tie giving in the sense of this world that we live in, this economical world, in times of recession, okay, or depression, or a market turn, or economy collapse. I want to really show how important it is to give in the good times and the bad times. And you will notice this correlation, right? Because we can look at it logically, right? We can logically predict a downturn, right? Or recession or market turn, or, you know, volatility in the economy, right? And we can usually tie that to the market, to the housing. You know, are people buying houses? We can tie it to the 10-year treasury, interest rates, right? Are they going up? Are they going down, right? What is the trend? What's the curve? But one thing that has helped me, right? Because there's the general economy and then there's your economy, your kingdom. What's going on in your economy? Because everyone else could be doing good, but you're doing bad, right? Or there could be a select group of people that are just not doing well, and there's select group of people that are doing great. It's always going to be like that. There's always going to be people doing good, people doing bad, and everyone in between, right? And we need to know how to live, react, and be proactive in all of our different economic times, okay? And when we're talking about giving in any economic time, in any financial situation that you're in, you will never have the issue, okay, of lack of money or lack of resources. Because when you are a cheerful giver, I'm not saying you're giving for something, not giving to get an award, not giving to get a win over someone or something, to genuinely give those things that you normally would go after. They're gonna come, but they're gonna come tenfold beyond what you thought of. Now that doesn't mean we're just gonna give to any Joe Schmo, right? We need to think about who and what and where to give our time to. That's very important as well, right? But once you've decided, I want to help this mom, right? So for me, like when I'm, I get a bunch of leads coming in, and I read the messages that you guys put, and I'll do a little prayer, or I'll just kind of like quiet my mind. I won't allow any judgment to come in, right? And I just allow my spirit to speak to me as I'm reading these messages, right? So I'm going through them, and I see in the message, I'm a mom, single, ton of debt. Here's my story. She's being totally honest with me, totally open. I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Okay? I call the person up. I spend 5 to 10 minutes with them. In those 5 to 10 minutes, that's the time that people usually set an impression on you, right? And they're either going to come at me with an attitude, they're going to come at me nervous, scared, excited, right? Pumped up or sad, whatever the case may be. I feel it through, and then I make the decision to give, right? And I don't expect anything in return, but I know that because I gave cheerfully from the heart, my Creator, my infinite, all-powerful, all-knowing being is going to respect that. He's going to honor that, and he's going to follow his rule that when you give, you shall receive, right? That's his rule. That's God's plan. Kingdom giving, right? Giving to people. That's all God. So when we incorporate that into our financial lives, our financial business, you'll notice how powerful this can be when you and I are working together, okay? So I want you to just keep that in mind in everything that you do. Where can I give? Who can I give? What can I give to? And now I want to give you a tool that will help you give freely, okay? That will help you give and gain in the process of that giving, all right? So I'm going to break it down. So I got my numbers on the board here, and I'm just going to follow a simple rule, right? The 10% rule. It is general. It's biblical, it's logical, it's general. However, which way you want to look at it, right? So I want to take that number, all right? And the tool that I want to use for my kingdom giving is a policy. What I structured in my head, my first year in business, if I can consistently bring in 13 to 15K in revenue, right? Right, possibly even higher, right? Because, the goal is to keep producing, keep making more, never stop, right? You just keep going. What's the point? It's just numbers, right? So why ever stop? Why ever get comfortable with this number, that number, with this number, with this number? Like, they're just numbers. They have no meaning, right? The numbers have no meaning. What we do with the numbers is where it really counts, right? So if I bring in 13 to 15K in revenue through this business, through helping people master their personal finances, get out of debt, right, get their credit right, and establish the kingdom of their own, okay, I want to be able to give at least 10%, okay? But instead of using my cash to give cash immediately to that area, to that person, okay, I want to convert this money first. Okay, in my head, I want to put this money in an asset, okay, that's going to earn interest, okay, it's going to gain money tax-free. That's the benefit of when we're talking about insurance, okay, and I'll have a whole series on this as well. I already have a bunch of videos on the infinite banking concept and how to establish your own tax-free bank for your kingdom to protect it, but not only to protect it, but to give in big amounts, right? And I mean just like from your heart, cheerfully giving, like you're just so excited. It makes you so happy. You know that you're gonna make this huge impact, all right? And it has a direction, it has a purpose. We're not just giving blindly. We're giving with an intention, right? With a purpose that we want to make an impact, all right? So I have it set up in my own kingdom that I got this policy here that I'm funding, okay, on a monthly basis, and I'm actually going to turn it into an annual soon, right? And the funds, okay, the money that is set aside, instead of setting aside this cash in a savings account, right, where it doesn't do anything, where the money sits dead, right, earns zero interest, right? Even when you think you're getting a 2% return, that's really nothing, right? Because then you have to worry about what? Tax, okay? And then inflation, okay? And then you got to understand what the banks are doing with all this dead money. They're flipping it, right? So why aren't you flipping your own money? The banks are doing it. When you're putting your money in the savings account, the bank is flipping that money. Meanwhile, your money is just sitting there dead. It's got digits. You log into, all you see is digits. That ain't real money, right? So you need to regain that control. We need to reposition, reallocate our tool that we're using to position ourselves to be able to give freely, right? So if all we did was shift this, right, into your own tax-free bank, a policy on yourself. I don't care how old you are. I got clients that are in their 50s, late 60s that are establishing this, right? Because we're designing it to give. We're designing it to give, to fund a purpose, okay? So going into giving you an idea of how I'm doing mine is I'm putting this money that I originally set aside, that I'm not using it for me. I'm simply setting it aside, but I'm putting it in something that's going to earn me anywhere from 4 to 12.5%. It's completely safe, secure, okay, and tax-free, which is also a huge benefit because taxes is one of the biggest costs, right? So we need to put ourselves in tax advantage assets: insurance, banking, real estate. Those are like the three main tax advantage assets that you want to be in. And of course, having a business to run all that through makes a lot of sense. So if I'm earning anywhere from this amount on money that I already set aside, that money's going to grow. And then I set the intention of where I want to put the money, right? So here are some things that I want to be able to do. I want to be able to employ mothers. I want to help women start businesses. I want to create partnerships. Creating partnerships, collaboration, relationships are great in times, in good times and bad times, right? So if I'm doing real bad, right? If something just, for some reason, everything just starts to collapse on me. I'm just, my focus is off, or I'm doing bad, or I'm making bad financial decisions. I can always turn to my partners, right? People like you that I'm partnered with, people that are my clients, my families that are in California, in Jersey, New York, Texas, Ohio, Virginia, Georgia, Washington, D.C., Washington State, right? All around. I can call on these people. Hey, man, I'm struggling. I need help. When they called on me to help them, I was there. And I know in my heart, and they know in their heart, that when I call on them, I say, hey, I need help. I need a place to stay. I'm trying to really make it big. I want to speak in Washington, or I want to go to Jersey and speak, or I want to do an event in New York, and I just need a place to stay. I want to, I don't have enough money, but I want to be able to do this event and speak to these people. Can I stay at your place? Can I stay in the guest room? Oh, come on. Come on. I know some of my families are like, Denzel, you already know there's a place for you in Georgia. There's a place for you in Atlanta. There's a place for you in California. So I have all these relationships that can save me money, save me time. They can catapult me to my goals, and they can even partner with me on my goals, and I partner with them on their goals as well. This money, right? So I didn't even mention this piece right here. So forgive me. We got the tool, which is the policy, which is earning anywhere from 4 to 12.5% or higher, right? Completely tax-free. I'm using 10% of gross revenue, or just 10% of my cash flow, right? I'm going with gross revenue, right? I want to just kind of follow that old school law, right, that we know of, and just put it in here. And then I take the money out, right? I borrow against my own tax-free bank, okay? And I establish a nonprofit with these intentions to employ mothers, help them find jobs, help them start a business, create partnerships, and focus on SDG goal number 4, okay? Also known as Sustainable Development Goals, which is quality education, which is really what we do on this channel. We give people quality education, right? Simple, easy to digest videos on your personal finances, velocity banking, infinite banking, kingdom authority. And we're able to make the proper moves that we need to make. Now, what's very interesting is when I took money out of the policy, right, I'm borrowing against it, okay? So that creates what? A debt, creates a loan, but against myself, right? So I'm borrowing from myself, which I then pay an interest rate. So I pay the interest rate to myself, right? The money that I set aside to fund the policy. We'll cancel that out. It'll pay back whatever I took out, right? So for the first year of establishing this, I'm simply funding it. Towards the end of the year, I take a bulk of that money out to go do this, right? Establish the nonprofit and then go do this, right? Establishing the business to go fulfill the dreams, to go fulfill giving work, volunteer work. There's so much in here. Giving to church, talking to churches, right? Giving my time to different organizations that need this, working with just mothers all over the United States and abroad, right? All right, we just keep doing that. And then the following year, what happens? When you give, you receive back, what? Tenfold. So if I receive tenfold of what I get, not if, when I receive tenfold, guess what? The 10% goes in here, plus giving and offerings, right? In addition to, which pays back what I took out, right? Pays back what I took out, and I put more in addition. I put more in there, which gets me to then at the end of that year, do it again. And we keep doing it again and again. It creates this huge asset portfolio that can turn into so many things. I mean, you know, we can acquire property with this, right? Rentals together. We can acquire more businesses together, right? Think about it. If I'm helping women start businesses, dude, I want a part of that. I'm gonna ask Mom, what do you want to start? You want to do a salon? You want to do, hair? You want to start a construction company? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Let's do it. All right, here's the funding. Okay, you develop the business plan. You go through all my lessons, all my teachings. You get that thing going. Listen, give 10% back. Give 10% back to the company, right? From what you create, right? You figure if it takes her a year to start it up, and you say, and let's say we help 5 women start a business, and they each bring in similar revenue to this, and I say, hey, just give 10% back. Just give 10% back. That's 5 times what I originally gave, right? To what they will produce. Oh man. So this is coming back, right? And it goes, and what does it do? It satisfies whatever we borrowed from, right? And I'm earning interest on all that's coming back in. So as long as I have the proper tool to create the financial flow, to create multiple streams of income, to satisfy our giving goals and become a cheerful giver, you will never have an issue when it comes to a recession, downturns in markets, market volatility, all that. I mean, this is so powerful, okay? And I love working with people. I love getting people to this point right here, because this is just the beginning of the beginning, right? For most of you, we're not even at the beginning. We're at the pregame. We're trying to remove debt, right? That's all we're trying to do right now. For most of my clients, we're just trying to pay off debt, get our finances in order, right? Boost this up, create more income, create more cash flow to position us here to then do something noble, become a giver, gain the knowledge, create the partnerships, help people, focus on education, right? Oh my goodness. And you know what's even bigger picture? Bigger picture? When it's all said and done, guess what happens? When you're long gone, that policy came with a massive death benefit, right? Because we keep overfunding the policy, right? This amount, this 13 to 15K, off 10%, whatever, that times 10%, you figure like 13 to 15K, whatever. You do the math for me. I'm terrible at math, but you do the math, right? And you figure however much money we throw in here, right? Our primary goal is to minimize the actual cost of insurance and to maximize on the cash value proceeds, so that we can acquire more assets, more business, nonprofit, help the people, create an impact, create a social impact, right? This is generational building, generational wealth, because when it's all said and done, you already have all the criteria put in place through a will, through a trust, right? Through business bylaws, your agreements, your board of advisors, right? You get a board, you get a whole team, right? We're building the team, remember? Okay? And when it's all said and done, when you're gone and you're sitting with the Lord, boom, they receive that massive death benefit, tax-free, by the way, to continue the mission, right? And as long as you found yourself someone to mentor, right? You get a couple of mentees that you want to train and you build them up to take over this, right? Isn't that what life is all about, right? You spend all your time here on earth figuring out who you are, why you're here, your purpose in life, and where you're going, all to just give it all away to the next person so that they're positioned that much more to get to the next stage. So I hope this was very, very detailed and clear for you. I hope you're enjoying the Kingdom series. I hope you continue to watch it through, all right? And at some point, I want you to take action throughout this Kingdom series. I want you to click on the resources below, all right? I want to help you build a team. I want you to join my team. I want you to join this mission, all right? I want to help establish your tax-free bank, all right? I want to help you get out of debt. Got a lot of resources below. Check it out. Again, my name is Denzel. Have a wonderful day and God bless.